Hey everyone, and welcome to the next Pokemon Productions video. Today I've got a very different game to discuss today, because it's part of a franchise that I don't really know that much about, but I know enough that when I saw the trailers for this game, I thought to myself, that looks really fun, and I think I'd want to play it. And I'm glad I did. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Robocop Rogue City. This has to be one of the best movie tie-in games I have seen. Like I've never seen any of the Robocop movies, but this was a fun game. I have to say that. Let's read the back of the box. Part man, part machine, all cop. Your mission: eradicate crime from the streets of Detroit. Your strengths: robotic upgrades and the strong arm of the law. Your weapons: anything necessary. So, this game's story takes place between the events of Robocop 2 and 3. The titular Robocop, Alex Murphy, has been patrolling the streets of Detroit for a while. He is going after this gang known as the Torchheads, who have basically been trying to sell off this drug called Nuke, and Robocop basically goes in to stop them, but then he starts suffering glitches in the form of flashbacks to his life as Alex Murphy. And then we meet this guy called the new guy in town, Wendell Antonowski, who apparently is the brother of someone who is the brother of one of the characters from the movie. I can't really remember his name. I don't know if they mentioned it. They probably did, but just can't remember. Anyway, he becomes basically the next target, and he's actually got a group of armed mercenaries that actually work for him. You meet them later on in the game, and there is this whole thing about OCP cutting the funding of the police department. OCP standing for Omni Consumer Products. That's the people that created Robocop. Basically, and the police are getting tired over it, so they eventually decide to go on strike, but then they stop when the city comes under attack. And then there's also these UEDs, urban enforcement droids, created by OCP businessman Max Becker, and a lot goes on. What type of game is Robocop Rogue City, though? It's an FPS, a first-person shooter, where the point of view is from Robocop's own eyes, and your main weapon is his Auto 9 pistol, which has unlimited ammo, and you can fire all sorts of rounds, although you do have to reload, and you can have upgrades to it with these circuit boards and stuff. You can actually collect other weapons that the enemies drop, but their ammo is limited, so once it runs out, you either have to find more or swap to a new weapon, or swap back to your main Auto 9. There's also this Robocop vision that he uses to find clues and solve crimes and stuff like that. He can also pick up and throw objects at enemies and straight up punch them. And there's also these different upgrades you can buy with skill points. Like, you can upgrade his health, his combat, his armor, his scanning, all that sort of stuff. And some of the enemies are tough. You've got your regular street thugs, then you've got the mercenaries with their heavy armor, and then you've got the UEDs, who are basically robots, and they're very tough. Mainly wielding heavy machine guns or something like that. And I have to admit, this game does not skip out on the details, because this can be quite a gory game. It's you can actually make heads explode if you get the shot just right, which is insanely satisfying to pull off. Of course, Robocop himself, he doesn't really take much damage from regular bullets and stuff, but explosives, they do damage him a lot more. And there are these health charges that you can use to heal yourself, because you may think that you may not die much in the game, but trust me, I did. And also a bit of a cool tidbit for any Robocop fans out there. Frank Weller, who played Robocop in the movies, returns to provide the voice and likeness for the character, which is insanely cool. I always love it when video games based on movies bring in the actors to voice their roles. That's always quite cool. Or anything that's based off a TV show or movie. I find it cool when the actors come back to reprise their roles. There's all sorts of stuff to do. There's explosives you can shoot for area of effect, and you can throw explosives as well. Basically, the gameplay is fantastic, and the graphics are absolutely fantastic. Like, just insane. It looks absolutely beautiful, which is to be expected, seeing as it is a PS5 game. So, you know. But I think this is a pretty faithful adaptation of the Robocop movies, and you can actually decide different dialogue options in certain conversations. And there's this whole thing with the mayoral debate, where you can either vote to stop Delta City from being built, and also therefore stop Robocop from getting human rights. Personally, I went for stopping Delta City because we knew that it was going to force a lot of people to leave their homes to make way for the new city. But I think that means there's multiple endings for this game, and I'm not sure what you're exactly supposed to do to get the other endings, but I'm happy with the one I got, and I have yet to play New Game Plus mode, but I will do that. So, all in all, I think this game is absolutely fantastic. It's an absolutely brilliant game, and I recommend picking the game up, even if you're a Robocop fan, or even if you aren't a Robocop fan. I have a feeling you'll have lots of fun with this game. Plus, it could be a good starting point for newcomers to the franchise. I mean, obviously the film would be a good starting point, but you know. So yeah, I highly recommend picking this game up. Let me know what you guys think about this game, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So until then, I will see you very soon.